Mo Salah, you son of a bitch. You absolute mood boosting, fucking yes, son of a bitch. Mo Salah signs a new contract with Liverpool. I'm just saying the words after the whole season of uncertainty. And will he sign, won't he sign? Just to even say, Mo Salah has signed that deal, my friends. I'm going to be giving my thoughts on it because I got a lot of them. And by the way, before I even start, it's pretty much a formality that by all accounts Van Dijk is also signing a 2-year deal. Fucking good in. Not official yet, so I won't comment too much on that. But you can basically take it that whatever I say about Salah, I'm essentially saying about Van Dijk because there's a lot of similarities in my joy of both of them staying. Do you know, in a very weird way, when I opened, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go on Twitter because I think there's something. I thought it was actually Van Dijk because I seen stuff yesterday of like, Liverpool have removed their pinned tweet. I was like, what are they getting ready for? And I was thinking like, the date is 11:04 or 04:11 if you're in America. I was like, that's their kit numbers. Now, I think the plan might have been for Van Dijk to announce his today as well. It turns out that's not happening. I don't think. It's still early in the day. But we can kind of take it as read. But for Mo Salah, so I saw the video straight away. First thing that came up was the Liverpool logo in a little video. I'm like, here we go. Big Verge, you son of a... Oh, it's Mo. And I watched the video before I read any official announcement. So it was just like, the story continues. I'm like, I was waiting for the end, like, Salah signs new contract. I'm like, and then that was the end of the video. So I was like, so I had to keep scrolling. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, he signed. 10 million retweets. He signed. Yeah, great. But it's huge. It's absolutely huge news. And it has so many knock-on implications and so many knock-on benefits aside from just Salah's a fucking class player and he's going to score an assist. So here's all the reasons why this is a bloody brilliant day. It gives the entire place, the entire city of Liverpool, the entire club, just such a fucking yes, man. But you know, like, results have been kind of stuttering a little bit. Well, not a little bit, they have been stuttering. The Trent thing has turned quite toxic to the point where if he's just seen on camera, even in a training thing, all the comments like, fucking, yeah, rah. You don't know who's going to be playing next year. Up until yesterday, you're like, are they signing or what? Like, what will this team, this title-winning team, how is it that we're about to win the title and we have no idea if our 3 best players are still going to be here next year? You know, it was just... So the mood had been dipping, and that doesn't help results. But I would not be in the least bit surprised if this completely has us playing like we played 4 or 5 months ago again. You know what I mean? Because you can't quantify the vibes, you know, as we've discussed on this channel ad nauseum. But you can't quantify the vibes. That's what makes a confident goalkeeper who has all the technical ability versus a not confident goalkeeper with the exact same technical ability. You know, who's gonna... A keeper that's feeling good or a keeper that's not feeling good. You know who's gonna do better. Same with strikers. Same with, you know, same with everything. Same with the atmosphere. Same with everything. So it just gives everything a fucking rocket up the ass. Sorry, I'm gonna be swearing a lot in this video. I'm sorry. But aside from the fact that we get Mo for 2 more years, more records to be broken, more Mo Salah chance, more everything, just more goals, more assists, more big beaming smiles. Apart from all that, it sets the tone for the rest of the squad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can see how technically all these players' contracts are up. It's like, okay, Klopp's leaving, have a year left. Let's see how it plays out. And Salah and Verge could easily have been like, do you know what? No, it's not for me. I'm going to try something new. I had a great time at the club, great time. But Klopp's kind of my manager. So, no, all the best, but no, that's my time. So they could have easily been, you know what? Write the next chapter without me, lads. I'm off. But it just sets the tone of like, no, I think we've got something here. It's Salah saying to Slot,
you've charmed me.
He's like, yes, I like your playing style. Yes, I like your management style. In fact, as part of the interview, I'm not a Liverpool paid member thing, so I could just get the transcript. But he says, so the question in his interview was, around a year ago, there was a big change with Arne Slot coming in as head coach. how much have you enjoyed working with him this season? So much. Straight away. Him and I think we have a good relationship. We understand each other on and off the field, which is very important. We have good communication. We discuss almost everything he wants me to improve and he wants from me. And also I feel if there's something in doubt, I go and speak to him. That's a great asset to have also as a manager. So, big seal of approval from Arne Slot. And let's all the other squad know that, like, oh, we're onto something here. Like, if all of our best players leave, the rest of the players will be like, guys, can we do this? You know, you've got the leadership, you've got the players who've got experience winning Champions Leagues, winning Premier Leagues with Liverpool, sticking around. Because I thought that when, like, Milner and Firmino and a few of the others left a few years ago, I'm like, oh, you're losing that voice as well in the dressing room. So the fact that we're keeping that, and you would think, if rumours are to be believed, Big Verge, the loudest voice of them all. But it does get me thinking, if Klopp was still here, would Salah have renewed his contract? Because I don't know how, I think they had overall a good relationship, but I got the sense, based on, I mean, very little to be fair, but that there might have been some strain there at the end. That could be all nonsense, but I think that this is like you could tell, like even there was a few little spats, or one spat really on the sidelines, and then when everyone was saying, oh, Klopp, you know, we'll miss you and all this, Salah was straight in. It's like, the one thing we want is trophies. Like, he's like, let's keep our eyes on the prize here. So I don't think he'd have committed if, and that's the other thing, I don't think he'd have committed. I'm going a mile a minute here, but I don't think he would have also re-signed if he wasn't given some assurances on the squad, because his big thing was, I want to win another league title and I want to win the Champions League again. Another league title on top of this one. So he wouldn't have stayed, I don't think, unless he had some of those assurances. There's a good chance that a part of Salah staying meant that, like, well, if Van Dijk stays, I'll stay. You know what I mean? I wonder if they can even do that legally. I'm sure they can, but I wonder if they were tied together almost with those contracts, you know, of like, maybe initially it was, I'll stay if these two lads stay. And then when it seemed like Trent was going, maybe that threw up some stuff of like, well, are we going to compete? Fortunately, Conor fucking Bradley is the fucking man. But so I wonder if that was tied in and then they got that sorted, because, I mean, you would want assurances. Okay, I'd love it if we did have the best centre-back in our team. I'd love it if we did have the best right-winger of all time. You know what I mean? A few other little things from that interview. They said, why is the Premier League the one you want the most? Probably because last time we didn't celebrate it the way we wanted. I think we owe that to the fans. They deserve it. Thank you. They deserve to enjoy it after a long time, with celebrating at Anfield and in the street and just enjoying ourselves winning the Premier League. Fucking yes, Mo. And then he goes, you must feel as though your team can challenge for the big honours again. He said, of course, if I don't believe that, I would not have signed. I believe this team can win trophies. Also, it's not just what he does on the pitch, leading by example that way. It's what he does off the pitch as well. It's that players see how he eats, how he conducts himself, how much he trains in the gym. Like, he's gotten so many players I've seen over the years saying, oh, well, when I seen Mo is in the gym all the time, I thought, okay, well, that's the standard. You know, like him and Verge, but, you know, we're talking about Salah's officially put pen to paper, that he's setting that standard. You know what I mean? When that starts to go, and all these players who had set such a high standard, when they're gone, it's kind of like, you know what, that's how great teams become good teams, become bad teams, because it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's just like, well, that wouldn't have been allowed 3 years ago. So it's not only, it's like, I get the impression it's like when Klopp stayed for that extra year, just to see in the greatest midfield acquisition of all time, and just to steady the ship and be like, oh, there you go, you know. And I kind of feel like this is a much needed stay, if that makes sense. I feel like it's much needed that they stay and help with this transition, because it's a weird, technically it is a transition season, but he hasn't bought any of his own players. He hasn't, you know what I mean? So with these lads in the team now, with new players coming in, seeing the standards they have to get to, it'll help the new players. It helps everything. I tell you, the let off when he gets his next goal is going to be absolutely insane. And, you know, and on a serious note, no, it's not serious, but I wonder if in this 2-year deal that they've put a thing in about being able, like, Mo, we really want you to stay and we'll pay you whatever you want. If you could just be a bit cooler when it comes to us subbing you off from time to time. Because I think that's best for everyone if his minutes are managed a bit better. And I hope he has the post-signing clarity to see that it actually works out best for everyone. His minutes are managed. He's, to get the very best out of him when he's playing. But then to maybe the odd time at 60, 70 minutes to swap him out for Elliot or Chiesa to rejig things, because it's kind of like the infallible spot. Everyone else can change, but don't fucking take me off me. So I hope that as he's getting on, he's 32 now. Granted, that's like 28 in mere mortal age, but I hope that he's a bit more open to that, and I hope that was maybe talked about during the contract thing, because you'll just get the best out of him, and you'll get the best, on some matches where it's just not happening. Not often, but on some matches, like the last month or so, that we just have that option of, okay, just something totally fresh, that the left back doesn't plan on playing against, or, whatever. But fucking amazing. And on a Friday as well, as if we couldn't feel any better. The fact that it's Friday, you get a jolt of adrenaline and a jolt of vibes. Pure concentrated good vibes, as you can tell from the excitement in this video. But fucking yes, man. It attracts even more players to the club. It's like, okay, I get to play with Salah, I get to play with Verge, I get to play with the league champions. Fucking this gives me a huge so I think it's great. And Mo, I love you. Thank you for staying. And now we just wait for Big Verge to sign on the dotted line, and all is well. We're just set up so much better now. How much better is it to be going into the summer knowing that we're going to be getting more players with these lads? Not like, okay, we need a fucking total restructure in here. Now it's just like, okay, we just need to pinpoint, give a bit more competition in places, and we have our core group locked in. Anyway, that's it from me. Up the fucking Reds. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on Monday, and have a feel-good weekend.